Welcome to the Outsider Media Group where we talk battle rap from top tier, mid tier to lower tier. There's no biases here. And tonight, me and Caleb, we gonna chop it up with Chilla Jones. How y'all fellas doing tonight?
Oh man, just chilling. You already know. Chilla, how you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. Coming off I'm feeling all right.
Factory. Let's talk about it, man. Close Combat Battle League. Chilla Jones versus Bourne. How did it feel? How you feel about the battle overall?
I feel good, man. I knew, when we spoke, I told you what I was coming in here to do and how I approach battles with people who have a weird sense of arrogance. And so that's kind of just what happened when it unfolded. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel really good, man. I feel really good about my performance. I feel like I could have been a little bit cleaner. But I am also my own biggest critic. So I'm just a perfectionist that way. But I definitely feel like I got the 30. I do feel like it was super, super clear. And I definitely think I gave people their money's worth.
Yeah, I mean, so I heard you got that champion of the night bag. So
Yes, indeed. I did get the champion of the night bag, a smooth 1,000. So salute to Close Combat Battle League and the whole champion platform for sure.
yeah, I mean, about to say it was how the rest of the event. I mean, that one of the battles didn't go down. You know what I mean?
Right, Danger Zone and Twerk didn't go down. Twerk didn't make it. I saw some word of that battle possibly being rescheduled. So definitely keep your eyes and ears open for an announcement about that potentially. But yeah, that was definitely a battle I was looking forward to as a fan. So I kind of hope it does get rescheduled.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, so what about Mr. Mills versus what was the guy's name? Payne, right?
Payne, yeah, Mr. Mills versus Payne, and man, Payne went crazy, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Mills wasn't as clean as he usually is. Like I've seen Mills a couple times in person, and he usually is very, very sharp. Usually doesn't stumble, slip, doesn't have any issues, man. But he was a little bit off versus Payne, man, and Payne was all the way in his bag. So salute to Payne, man. He did his motherfucking thing. He was on fire.
Oh yeah. So I mean, it was all judged for money. So Payne won the decision or what?
Payne won the decision 3-0, and I don't know how. I think it was 300 on the line for that battle, so he also won the extra 300.
Okay. Anything else that stood out?
Um, I for, I don't remember their names, man. But there was a battle. I think it was the second battle of the night. I think both them dudes had dreads. I wish I remembered their names. I think one dude name was Uzi. Uh, but he was actually super fire. He was fire. Like I want to see some more of him. He was also really, really good. His opponent was dope too. Um, but I mean, otherwise, I think there was supposed to be like 6 or 7 battles, and I think it only ended up. But the undercarders couldn't make it either, which is unfortunate. But even though there was only 4 battles that night, I think between Payne and Mills and me and Bourne, those are two really good battles.
So what's the word on the release date? Is that going to be released pretty hastily or what?
Uh, I don't know how long they're gonna wait before they release it. I don't know if people are still buying a pay-per-view and trying to watch it, but I would guess that it'll be out within a month. That's just my feeling of it. But I guess we'll wait and see what the league wants to do. But I hope they put it out, pretty soon because I feel like it's still kind of on the top of people's minds. I feel like if they dropped it today, it's a decent number. So we'll
Yeah.
see. It's up to the league though.
I know say you won clear, the 30 whatever. Was Bourne's material good or what? Afterwards, looking back at it, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Looking back, his material was okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to sound like I'm fronting on him. He definitely has some heat. He definitely has some heaters. But let's just say I expected maybe the Born who battled Super Rider or the Born who battled Bricks. I kind of expected a better Born than the one that I got. So I don't want to say that his material wasn't good, but I definitely expected
Better.
The best Born that we've seen in a few years, and I don't really think I got that Born that I was expecting.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a shame, but I mean at the same time, you really can't be mad at it because that was an easier bag for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly, you know what I'm saying. And so even though the battle overall wasn't as good as I feel like it could have been because he didn't really do his part, um, it made it easier for me. You know what I'm saying, to do what I needed to do and to take that bag home. So I'm not mad at all with the way it turned out. But I think maybe some fans are, the ones that caught it on pay-per-view or the fans that were in the building that were looking forward to this battle for 4 or 5 years. I think maybe maybe they wanted more out of the battle, but I can only really control my side of things. So, that's all I really focus on.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. All right. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna feed too much into the current narrative, I guess, but I want to know how you feel about the whole because I mean I did see on Twitter Danger Zone and Twerk didn't go down. However, they were both
Mm-hmm.
at the event the next night, the Do or Die event. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you feel? You know what? Fuck the bullshit. Do you feel like Twerk ducked Danger Zone? Honestly,
uh, no, I do. I do. I do feel like Twerk Duck Danger Zone. But I mean, like I said, as a fan, it's a battle that I want to see, and that's why I kind of hope it gets rescheduled because I feel like, above all, I feel like it can be a really good battle, and that's kind of what I want to see.
yeah,
And so I hope that whatever needs to happen for it to rescheduled happens. Um, and that we get to see it before the end of the year because I think that would be dope. Yeah, but I do think he ducked. You know what I'm saying? I do think he dodged it. Maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe he wasn't prepared. I mean, as if what would have been better if Twerk shows up unprepared, stumbling, choking, fumbling through a round and loses, or what would you guys prefer as fans? For Twerk to show up half prepared and lose, or for Twerk not to show up? Assuming that Twerk showing up at full speed wasn't a possibility, what would you prefer?
I mean, here's the problem, and Dre, I'm gonna let you weigh in on this too. But in my opinion, I don't think it would have like I think that it normally it's better maybe to not give a bad performance. But with
Mm-hmm.
all the things that are going on with Twerk right now, I don't think it was the best thing because he's already had a couple of battles that he hasn't shown up to for one reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Danger Zone, he's locked in for Big K and Young Cannon, and then some other like small league battles. So this is like putting the stigma forward of like everyone's probably double checking on their deposit. You know what I mean? They're like, hey,
Right.
I don't know, like, are you gonna show up? Am I wasting my money? Because if so, tell me now. You know what I mean? He's hurting his brand. I
I
mean,
agree.
what do
I
you think,
say
Dre?
shoe on the other foot. Shoe on the other foot would have been a duck.
You saying if
If
Danger's on,
Danger
if
was in
Danger
that position
done it?
and he did that, yeah. Yeah, if Danger Zone would have did that, would have been a duck.
I
I
Or
mean,
the
think I,
star
I think
power
it's
let you get away with that.
I think it's a duck no matter how you look at it. Even if it were Danger not showing up for Twerk, even if it was Born not showing up for me or vice versa. I in my opinion, a duck is when you don't show up to a battle and you don't really have a valid excuse. Okay, I don't know what Twerk's excuse was. I don't know if he gave an excuse to Raja, and so that's why I say I think he ducked, but I don't know the reality of the situation. But I didn't, usually a battler will make like a public, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm 50 battles in and I've never missed one. And so if there comes a day where I'm scheduled for a battle and I miss it, the fans will get a blog, they will get an explanation, I can't make it. I have a family member in the hospital, or something happened with someone in my family, or what I'm saying, I couldn't make the battle because, like, the fans will always get an explanation, a very clear, detailed explanation, and then I will also, reschedule the battle. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And so, because I don't know what Twerk's situation was or why he missed the battle, that's why to me it looks like a duck. So to me, it doesn't matter. Even if Danger had done it, if Danger had not showed up and had not made a public announcement about why he didn't make the battle, and to me that would be a duck too. Star power, no star power, however you look at it. To me, it would have been a duck either way.
All right, okay. We can get back to it, Caleb.
Hello? Oh, my bad. My thing was bugging for a second. Oh, it's all good. All right. So I mean, we'll go past that for right now. It was also announced recently, man. Chilla Jones versus HJ Double on the Culture Battle League, man. How are you feeling?
I'm excited for that one, man. I'm really excited for that one. Uh, that one's gonna be super dope, man. And first of all, my first battle in Texas. Really excited for that. Uh, second of all, me and HA Double since right after my prep battle, there was a lot of buzz about me and HA Double being on Rookies vs Vets Volume 2, which didn't end up happening. But ever since then we've kind of played with the idea of battling one day. And so, Gutta, salute to Gutta, hit me up. And we made it happen pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was a battle I wanted, it's a battle HA wanted. And so yeah, it was really easy to lock in, and I'm sure it's gonna be a very, very pin heavy battle.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, I know whenever it was announced, Dre was saying that that had potential to be the battle of the night. You know what I mean? He definitely
Mm-hmm.
feels like that's gonna be a crazy one. But I mean, we another thing we done had a few of the guys on the card already up here, man. We got to get y'all up here to talk that shit at some point, yo.
Yeah, we definitely can, man. Maybe around this time next week, early next week. We definitely can jump on the line for a little bit and talk our shit. I'm definitely down for that.
Hey, yo, let me ask this, man. Back real quick to the Twerk situation.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a couple of posts on Twitter, and I mean, obviously, this is probably not realistic because I'm sure the card's probably set already. But people were saying that now on the adjustment card, Twerk needs to see Chilla now to see if he really can hang up there. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Yeah, I would for sure battle Twerk on that card or any card, just because I respect Twerk's talent level. And it's definitely a different situation than me battling somebody like Joe, who I feel like even though he has a dope pin, to me he just hasn't put in enough work to stand across from me yet. You know what I'm saying? And so Twerk, on the other hand, definitely has, and like I said, I'm a fan of his talent, and I think his talent level is really high. So yeah, if that ever came to the table where URL wanted to make that battle happen between me and Twerk on the adjustment card or any other card, Volume 3, whatever they wanted to do, I would definitely be interested. I would definitely be interested.
Hey, yo, that
You know?
Volume 3 shit, man. Hey, let me say this, and we gonna talk about this too. You out here, you probably got a pretty good chance of being on these cards now, considering what the last URL card looked like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did you watch Summer Madness?
I did. I spent my hard-earned money on Summer Madness. Had a Summer Madness party at the crib, invited some people over, chefed
And
up
you were
some
thoroughly
food.
satisfied, right?
I was satisfied with one battle. Maybe two. I
I guess.
liked Iron and JC was dope.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Iron and JC was
we can
dope.
guess which one that one was.
Iron and JC for sure. I actually enjoyed Hitman versus Rock as well. I'm not gonna lie. Other battles had high points and low points. I really like Geechee and Suge's first round. I really like DNA and Twerk's first round. Um, I like the Abs performance against Math.
What about No Red? How'd you feel about that one?
The single most awkward battle I've probably ever seen.
About to say that was Battle Rap's first ever battle rap related injury that I've seen. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's so weird that they allowed Ored to spit both of his rounds in the third. To me, that's just weird. If
yeah, but
why would you?
Ored, what'd you say last time when we were up in here, man? You said Ored likes to rap, so.
Nah, he for sure does. He always if it's 3-minute rounds, he's gonna come at 4:30. That's the way Ored is. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? The first round was close. I think maybe I edged Red. The second round, I thought was Ill Will's best round, and Red couldn't rap. And then Ill Will goes in the third, has a pretty decent round. And now Red is combining his second and third for the third round. To me, that's weird. I feel like URL should have stopped him at a point. Like, don't just let him rap for 9 minutes and combine his rounds, because that's not fair for Will. To me, if you let me rap for 7 or 8 minutes today, right now, with the zone I'm in and the comfort level I have, I'm gonna beat anybody's 3-minute round with an 8-minute round. I promise. Anybody on earth, I will beat their 3-minute round if you give me 8 minutes to rap. So to me, it was just weird that URL didn't say, okay, well, Ill Will's third round was 3 minutes and 20 seconds. We're going to give you 3 minutes and 20 seconds and we're going to cut you off, because we got to keep it fair. And so it's weird that Red is running around saying, oh, I beat Ill Will with 2 rounds. And it's like, you don't get credit for beating a nigga with combining 2 of your rounds into 1 round. I don't know. That's not champion material to me, but it is what it is.
About to say it was kind of weird, man. They had the handheld joint up there. The crowd did not seem very happy with the fact that he just could not seem to rap, man. What would you have done in that situation? If you would you have forfeited the round?
If I was Red?
Yeah, if you just lose your voice in the middle of the battle, you know what I mean?
I for sure would have forfeited the second. I wouldn't have sat there for 10 minutes trying to rap and then trying to stop them from going to the third. I think that it killed a lot of momentum in the battle. B, it in the event, and then C, it just reeks of just weird, man. I don't ever want to see that battle, bro. I hope that battle never comes out.
I'm not so sure we can say that though, because we're talking to the dude who battled fucking Ilmac with the goddamn flu and shit. Jordan in the flu game, you feel me? I'm not so sure you would have gave up that easy if that's the case.
Nah, I wouldn't have. I would have pushed through if at least when I had the flu, I had a fucking voice. It was going out, but I was pushing through that, you know what I'm saying, like a motherfucker. But Ored shit was totally gone, or at least it sounded like his shit was totally gone. Like it sounded like he was damn near whispering, trying to get his shit off. And so, I don't know if it would have been better for them to like put another battle on and then bring them back later, which I think also would have been weird.
That
I
would have
don't
been
know if
weird.
you know what I'm saying. Like I don't know what you could do in that situation, but I do know that I don't want to see it. Don't give me a release date for it. Tuck that away right in the vault, and let's just forget it happened, bro. I don't want to see that battle.
Yeah. Well, one more Summer Madness question, man. There was kind of a trilogy completed on Summer Madness, so to speak. You had JC versus Chilla, classic. Iron versus
Mm-hmm.
Chilla, classic.
Mm-hmm.
And JC and Iron. Is it a classic?
No, JC versus Iron is not a classic. However, uh, had you given them a month and a half to 2 months, yes, it would have been a classic. And is the battle a really good battle for 3 weeks preparation? Oh, nobody would have done better in 3 weeks prep for sure. Um, so salute to them for sure. Uh, I had JC winning the battle for what it's worth.
Okay.
Uh, but I don't think it was clear. I just I it seemed like JC rattled Iron, and I think that's you don't see that a lot. I think I've only ever seen Iron rattle with Ilmac, but it seemed like JC rattled Iron a little bit just
And
with
Mook a little
the
bit.
and Mook a little bit, yeah. But it seemed like JC with the angles he took about like the
Yeah.
Jewish the religion angle that he took seemed like it really rattled Iron. Like you can kind of tell with what he was saying while JC was rapping and kind of how he opened some of his rounds that he really didn't fuck with the angle JC took. And to me, that's kind of a sign of like, all right, he's getting under your skin. Like he's saying something that's actually affecting you, your aura, your being. You know what I'm saying? And so,
To
I
use
thought
the
JC wanted
cliche,
something
look
that
at him. He's emotional right now.
right, exactly. But it was really good writing on both ends, and for that to have been maybe the best battle of the night, and for them to have the least amount of prep time, uh, I would like to see them both get rewarded with nice plates on the next big card, whether it's Iron and Surf, and maybe JC and Av or JC like or whatever. I want to see them both have really good matchups for their next battle because I think they may have single handedly I
Saved
don't want to
the
say
battle.
saved Summer Madness because I feel like Summer Madness was still a shit show. But without that battle, it's easily the worst Summer Madness of all time. It
Yeah.
still may be the worst Summer Madness of all time, with all due respect to Summer Madness 3. But without that battle, it's probably the biggest letdown ever for an event.
Well, I mean, so you did kind of like the new JC dot approach. You know what I mean? The very like he was different. Normally JC just spits bars at you. You know what I mean? He's a very
Right.
good writer. But did you liked the way he incorporated angles this time?
I liked the event. I mean, I liked the angle for Iron. It's not, I my hope is that he doesn't do that every battle, and that was a specific approach for Iron considering the circumstances. Um, I don't want to say C turn into B dot. I think his pen is too well rounded for him to uh kind of pigeonhole himself into one type of approach.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't do that every single battle. Um, but I definitely enjoy JC's approach for Iron, and I think it was very strategic and very intelligent way to go about it.
Okay. Well, another thing we talked about last time, man. We we we, uh we had you talk about what you thought Verb and Mook was gonna be like, man. So how did you watch it? How do you feel?
I did watch it. And my feeling is this: A, I love the energy in the battle, kind of the similar energy as like Twerk and Suge, where they're aggressive, they're bumping each other, poking each other in the chest. And, um, I love those type of battles. I love that type of energy in a battle as a fan. As long as it doesn't spill over into something that's going to stop the battle, I think it's great. Um, I thought Verb's first round was genius. I thought uh, the approach he took was very divisive. It separated Mook from the rest of the culture, and it kind of turned people against Mook in a sense, where he kind of put Mook out on an island and was like, "You're this, and we as battle rappers represent something totally different. We battle once every 2 months, once every 3 months. We deal with the shit from the fans. We deal with this, and even from a fan standpoint, it's like um, he created just this separation with the way he approached Mook in the first round that I think was so smart and so intelligent. So I feel like Verb got the first round. I feel like both of their seconds were very good. They both had some reachy stuff. Mook had the whiskey business and a couple other bars that could have definitely uh could have been better. But it's weird. Even though it's like a reach, I appreciate what Mook was trying to do so much that I don't fault him that much. That's just me though. But Verb as well had a great second. I do feel like Verb had some spots in his second round too where I was like, eh. And I also wasn't big on Verb's Showtime. I thought that was one of his weaker Showtimes ever. But I think overall they both had solid seconds. I want to say I edged Mook the second round. And then the third round can also go either way, just based off the fact that if you penalize Mook for having a 22-minute third, then you probably just gave the round to Verb kind of off the strength of, you know, Mook maybe just had too much for you to even want to deal with. I enjoyed Mook's round. It was a super long round. I don't know that I'll ever watch that round in full again, but I will say that I enjoyed all of the material in it.
Okay. I
And
mean,
that's just my opinion. I gave Mook the third round just because I enjoyed all of his material, all 22 minutes. There wasn't a spot in there where I was like, I don't really like that bar. I literally liked everything Mook had to say in the third round. I liked everything Verb had to say in the third round as well, but I just feel like Mook had a little more. So I had Mook 2-1, which I know is the unpopular opinion, but I also see an argument for Verb winning 1 and 2. And if you didn't like the length of Mook's third round, then I see the argument for Verb winning all three. But I like the Mook 2-1.
I seem to recall, man, whenever we were talking about the battle, what was it that you said? I know you still remember. You said Verb has to win the first round clearly. And did he do that?
Uh, to me, he did. To me, he did. Well,
You said that would just damage like his aura for the rest of the battle. You know what I mean? It would give him the momentum. And
right,
whenever we were
which I
watching, I
think
was
it
like,
did.
okay.
Which
I
I
was
think it
like, I
did.
remember
Um,
Chilla said that.
yeah, Verb took an excellent approach in the first, and it definitely damaged his aura for the rest of the battle. I don't know. It's hard for me to say Verb won the first clear because I love Mook's writing. What I will say is I liked Verb's performance and pacing. The way he structured his rounds was, like I said, all around was genius. You know what? I'm gonna say Verb won the first round. I will say it's clear. I will say it's clear. I enjoyed both of their writings, and I enjoyed Verb's performance a little bit more. Um, I did have Mook taking a second and a third, but I don't think the battle was classic, but I think it was a really good battle. I think the hype before it was great. I think the battle itself was great and lived up to the hype. And I know the battle's gonna do its numbers. I know Verb is probably gonna end up getting Lux after this, which is dope. and I would love to see Mook finally take on Surf or Hollow. And I hope this battle leads to big matchups for Verb. The Luxes, maybe a Hollow rematch, maybe an industry guy, and I hope it leads to Mook battling more people of this era, whether it's Surf, Hollow, anybody from this era who people want to see match up with Mook.
Yeah, and I mean, let me ask this. I know you've seen this shit on the internet since the Mook battle where people are saying, "Oh, well, Mook just took the Chilla Jones approach." You know what I mean? Because people said he was heavy with the scheming and that. How do you feel about that?
Um, I mean, it's imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and I believe that. You know what I'm saying? So to hear, even to take it back a little bit, to Surf, when Surf battled Nitty at Nome, his first battle in so long, a year and a half, whatever. A majority of his first two rounds were schemes, and people even then were saying like, "Yo, that's crazy." Surf is scheming Nitty's life away. I saw many times on Twitter during that battle. He's scheming Nitty's life away. And I got tagged a lot, when that was happening. And then the same thing happened with Mook. The majority of his first two rounds, he was, people kept saying, "Yo, he's scheming. Yo, he sounds like Chilla. Yo, he's this and he's that." Um, First of all, I think it's dope that people associate anything that has to do with scheming with me. I think that's only a testament to how well I have branded my style. That whenever people do that shit, whether it's in battle rap, even when it's not in battle rap, man, even when you watching like certain TV shows where that might happen, or movies or songs, people automatically just relate that to me, which I think is dope. But I'm flattered by it when I see Surf do it, when I see Mook do it, when I see people that hold in a very high regard, who are, I feel like, are clearly influenced by me and the style that I've been using and the style that I made popular. Um, with all due respect to Mook, who had a sandwich scheme versus Lux, I definitely wasn't doing schemes before Mook, but again, as somebody who continued to keep schemes popular and make schemes popular over the years, it's flattering to me, man. I take it as an honor. I don't look at it any type of negative way. I think it's dope, and I think schemes are still one of the most dangerous things in battle rap when they are done correctly. They are almost guaranteed to shake a large room when they're done correctly.
Yeah, that's a fact. So I mean, did you catch the rest of the event, or how'd you feel about the RBE event?
I didn't see a lot of the RBE event. I saw Mook and Verb, and I saw Big T and Ill Will, and
Oh,
I didn't really like that battle. But I didn't
that's
see Swave and
arguably the
beat.
worst battle for you to have seen from that event, man.
uh, I didn't see Swave and beat Dot, but I heard that was really good. I didn't see Clean and Jay. I didn't see Big K and Iron.
Okay.
Nah, I didn't see none of those battles, man. Even still to this day, I haven't really had time to sit down and get the pay-per-view and check all those out.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, the RBE event was better than Summer Madness. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Big T and Big K kind of dropped the ball. You know what I mean? That's just kind of what they do. I'm not. I mean, right now, not all the time, obviously, but and B Dot and Swave definitely delivered on a different level than people are used to seeing him like perform. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I think overall it was a dope ass event. Um, I'm hoping that RBE capitalizes on this because they definitely have a window into the spotlight right now. Um,
That's
let
a
me
fact.
let me ask this, man, and I know. Let's just get into it. You might not even have the answers, which I wouldn't really expect, but King of the Dot's been quiet for a while, man. What's going on? Are you still in? Are they still talking to you about being booked on this upcoming card or what?
Um, I literally spoke to somebody from King of the Dot today, and what they basically said was things are just kind of getting moving for the next event. And so my guess is that over the next week or two, there will probably be some, organic or Bishop will probably start uh, getting the promo ball rolling. So my guess is like maybe the first week of September, you'll probably start hearing some event information and things like that. As far as me being in contention for the chain, I'm still in contention. I haven't received any official word that it's going to be me and not, anybody else. But I'm still feeling like I'm the clear favorite right now after the battle with Iron. So hopefully I'll get some sort of confirmation over the next week or two so I can finally lock in and start writing.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely dope. Even outside of the league, you know what I mean. You're dropping numbers on Born. You know what I mean. You got this battle with HA Double coming up. Should be a fire battle. I mean, you're out here working, man, and I respect that. Even just outside of the league, you're like, I'm not just gonna sit and wait for my shot.
Right.
But
No, I've never been that way, man. I've always been the type um to just do my thing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's with URL or King of the Dot, like I've always been like I said before, man, I do this shit for the ability to travel, see the world, um, and really to reach fans and supporters that may not ever have the chance to come see me in Toronto or in New York or in Boston or in LA or in any of the places that I battle more often. There's people in Toledo that have been fans of mine since 2012 who are like, I just don't have the means to get to New York for a URL or to get to Toronto for a King of the Dot. Like I just my life isn't set up for me to be able to take these kind of trips to do that. And so, for a lot of people, it literally probably made their whole summer to be able to, what I'm saying, for the first time. And who knows when they'll get to have that again, man. So that's really the reason I do it. So it just so happens that, I'm smoking everybody in the process or, making really good battles or classic battles over the past year and a half with Clips, John, and, Solomon, like I also, caught some bodies on King of the Dot as well.
yeah. The homie Dave wants to know if you ever would consider doing another bullpen event.
I am in talks with Bullpen as we speak for their next event. I won't spoil it to let y'all know, but I will say it's a matchup similar to the Born matchup, meaning it's a battle that people have asked me for a long time.
You said it's been something that they're asking for a while?
Yeah, it's the matchup that John hit me up about is the battle that people have been asking me for since maybe 2014.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. It might not, but like I say, I need to see you and Loso lock up at some point, man.
I'm for sure with it. It's just gonna be a matter of uh timing and the appropriate platform. The same thing with Ward. Like, what I'm saying? Me and Ward know that we're gonna see each other at some point. Me and Loso do too, but it's we really wanna we both have the mind of wanting to build up these matchups. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so it happens so frequently now that as soon as the fans want to see something, a league tries to pull the trigger immediately and then people go from wanting to see me and A Ward in February, then a battle happens in April, and then it's gone. Like, me and A Ward really want to build this up. We want you guys to want to see this battle for a year, and that's going to continue to happen as long as we both keep having incredible performances. The same thing with me and Loso. If Loso is killing it every time he steps on RBE or King of the Dot or Bullpen, and I'm doing the same thing, the demand for that battle is always going to be there. So when it does finally happen, the anticipation is going to make it that much better. So, shout out to Loso, shout out to A Ward, because those are both, in real life, I really like those dudes. But in a battle rap standpoint, we'll definitely end up locking horns at some point. I just want it to be on a card that matters. I want the matchup itself to matter. And I really want the matchup to be as good as it can be.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I'll worry about, and I don't see that happening with these types of names, but the only thing that I worried about is like, say, let me figure out how to say this. Look at Twerk right now, and Twerk 6 months to a year ago. Anything can happen, and your name can decline, and then it's like, damn, I wish we could have got that battle whenever they were both still on fire. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that has definitely happened in the past with certain matches. Like, for instance, I think Rex and Reed is a good example of that. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a time where that battle, maybe in 2015, if Reed had taken Rex instead of John on his comeback, I think it would have been a bigger battle for the culture. I think Rex was more focused back then. On the flip side, I think Reed needed a battle or two to adjust before Rex. So I think it worked out in Reed's favor that the wait happened. But as far as like anticipation, as far as like selling tickets and people looking forward to it, I think it would have been bigger in 2015 whenever it was that Reed came back. So I definitely feel you on that. I just don't feel like me or Ward or even Loso is at a point where I don't think we're anywhere near a decline. And I don't foresee any of us having a decline anytime soon. So I'm less worried about that. I can tell you that I was worried about that as far as me and Bourne went, because Bourne is so up and down that the only reason why I felt like this was a good opportunity for me and Bourne to lock in. Me and Bourne was already locked in before he accepted Joe. And so at that point, Bourne had some pretty decent showings. He had the classic with Bricks. I think that was in 2016 or 2015. He had a couple good battles last year. And so it was kind of a point where I was like, I don't know what Bourne career holds left for him, but if we don't make this happen while he's on an upswing and I'm on an upswing, I'm not going to be able to justify it to my fan base if it happens after, if he battles somebody else and gets smoked. And so that's why I tried to make it happen when it did. But yeah, I don't think any of us are going to be on that decline as far as me, Ward, or Low. So I don't think any of us are going to be on that decline anytime soon. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would only worry if for instance, if I decide to go to URL and King of the Dot stops booking me, that's one thing. Or vice versa. If A Ward goes to URL and doesn't get booked on King of the Dot, if it becomes a situation where we are not being booked by the same leagues, and so if the matchup happens, it's gonna be on a league where it may not be as appreciated. Like, I feel like me and Loso needs to be on Bullpen or RBE. I feel like me and Ward needs to be on King of the Dot. So I feel like I wouldn't want to take those battles anywhere else. Like, I wouldn't want to take those to Close Combat. I wouldn't want to take those to Austin, Texas. I would want to do those on particular platforms just because I feel like that's where they would be most appreciated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of URL, man, are you still in? Are you still talking to them? Do they still want you back over there, or what?
Yeah, I'm definitely still in talks with URL. and that there's a few different things in the works. There's a few different things that we're discussing and trying to put together. But I'm not forcing it, and they're not forcing it. We always revisit. We always come back to the table pretty much on a monthly basis, and see what events they got coming up, see what they got lined up. But they also do understand and recognize that I do have an agenda for the chain, and so they know that, and so I'm not going to take just anyone on URL. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
uh, as long as I'm not able to get certain names, or as long as certain names aren't in my reach, I'm gonna stay focused on my chain aspirations, and try to get this chain. If they call me tomorrow and say, "Yo, we got ORED for you," or "We got Low Deluxe for you," or what I'm saying, they toss me something like that, that I would consider. That might pull me away. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, man, I'm focused on ice and trying to get to ice, and trying to be the new king around here.
Oh man, speaking of Ice, man, have you heard about his battle?
I heard little things here and there. I heard from the people that I spoke to. I heard that he lost. I heard that he wasn't that good. But I don't know, man. Like, competitiveness is one thing, but I'm actually, I actually fuck with Ice. I like what Ice does in the ring. Uh, doesn't mean I don't want to beat him and take his chain, but I did hear that it wasn't a very entertaining battle on his part.
Yeah, I mean, Los first round was more tailored for Daylight, but the back two, he you know what I mean. He kind of just did what he was supposed to do lyrically, and everyone was kind of just making jokes that everybody from like all the Harlem cats lost to the vegans. You know what I mean? So I'm about to say, so that was funny, but I mean that's gonna be interesting because if y'all do get set up, then Ice might be coming off of a loss. You know what I mean? So that would probably hurt his momentum, whereas you're coming off of a win at the moment.
True. No, you're absolutely right, bro. Yeah, it could definitely be in my favor, but Ice also is a different entity on King of the Dot than he is anywhere else. Ice can, you know, hold his hand up, and the crowd will be so quiet you can hear a pin drop. Like, Ice has that kind of control when it comes to King of the Dot, especially in Toronto. So, no matter what happens on RBE, or any other platform he may step on, he's a different animal than the King of the Dot. And so, it's even if he's quote unquote coming off a loss, it's not going to affect the way I prepare. Like, I'm preparing for Ice in a very specific way, that I need to strip him of his power, and kind of take away his strength. So yeah, even though he might be coming off a loss, I'm not taking that for granted. I still understand what kind of threat he is at his best.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less, especially if you
Mm-hmm.
trying to, you know what I mean, trying to get get that chain around your neck. But all right, man. So we ain't got much left. I know the homie Dave wants to ask a couple of questions before we get out of here, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and unmute him and let him speak his piece. What up, Dave?
Yo, what up, Caleb? What up, Chilla again? Hey, what's going on?
What's good,
Just a
bro?
couple, chilling. No pun intended. Just a couple of questions. So the last time, a couple of weeks ago, they had Day on here, and I asked him this same question: would you ever battle Chef Trez, since he's technically one of the few people in writer's block that you haven't battled?
For sure, I would definitely battle Trez. Trez like little bro, man, but he's super talented. I know he would for sure put up a fight. He's dangerous with his rebuttals. He's one of the people that I would take on my comeback to URL. Like Trez, Mike P is another one that I would take. Blue Easy, those are people that on my first battle back to URL, those are some of the names that URL and I have kind of discussed, and that I would definitely be interested in going toe to toe with, just to kind of reacclimate myself to URL fans.
No, I get it. I get it. My second question is, so a lot of people have been going around since you're talking about the king of the dot chain and everything. A lot of people have been going around that have been saying that since ISIS had the chain, that the value of the chain has depreciated. How do you feel about that? Especially with the whole champion of the year being started now.
I agree, to be honest with you. I think the value of the chain has kind of depreciated, just in a sense that, like, for one, it hasn't been defended as much as I think people would like to see it. He defended it literally. He defended it versus Cortez last October, and his next defense is going to be probably this October or November. And so it's like, if you're defending the chain once a year, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want the chain if you're just gonna give me one battle a year.
Right.
I'm not gonna want the fucking chain. Keep the chain, if you know what I'm saying. If I'm only gonna get to battle once a year with it and defend it. I think the chain. I'll tell you what I think needs to happen, and this is something that I've considered. I've considered winning the chain, like if I battle Ice and I beat Ice, considered winning the chain, and then I've considered saying, okay, I don't want the chain. I want there to be a Grand Prix for the chain, and I want to be in it, and I want to win the chain all over again.
I like that.
I've literally thought about that because I think that brings a new element of excitement. I think it gets the fans re-excited. Like, imagine if I win the chain and I grab the microphone from Bishop and I'm like, all right, 2019, we doing a Grand Prix. Eight contenders. Me, A-Ward, Real Deal, Thesaurus, Nestle, Sharon, like 8 different people. 8-man tournament. Winner of the tournament gets, $5,000 and the chain. Like, that wouldn't be exciting to y'all?
No, that would actually be dope, because also that would bring more judge battles back to King of the Dot. Because like the only time they do a judge battle is for the chain. That's it.
The only problem that I see with that is the past couple of Grand Prix, there have been some arguments for some robberies. You know what I mean? They've had like people say that like it's widely agreed upon that, like, okay, maybe like Arcane versus Sharon, or like Sharon and HFK versus Real Deal and Fresco type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some battles, Arcane 100 Bullets. There's just some battles that like people are like, okay, that definitely did not go the way it should have. So that would be my only worry with that, honestly.
Yeah, but with that, Caleb, at the end of the day, it's still battle rap. Like, no matter what you try to, no matter how much judge we try to make it judge, it's still gonna be opinionated. Everybody's still gonna be like, oh well, I feel like this person got robbed. I feel like that person got robbed. You know what I'm saying? Some people still feel like Surf actually won against Nitty. I feel like Nitty beat him. But at the end of the day, no matter how much we try to stress, making sure that it shows clear wins, there's always going to be people that's going to say that their favorite person won.
I mean, I understand that. That's just the only thing that I worry about, is that I'm going to be like, man, every time somebody that should win doesn't win.
Yeah.
But I'm about to say, no, I ain't. But you go ahead.
No, that was the only 2 questions I had, really, to be honest.
All right. Well, I mean, I definitely appreciate Dave talking his shit, man.
Always, you know how it is.
Oh, you good? But yeah, Chilla, man, we definitely appreciate you coming on the platform, man. I think that's about it. You know what I mean? If you want to give any shout outs right here at the end, like shout your social media out, your music, any of that, you know what I mean? You can get that in.
Yeah, definitely. Follow me on Twitter at Chilla Jones, Instagram Chilla Jones, www.chillajones.com for the latest merchandise, information on music. battles, blogs, everything else. Be on the lookout for Chilla Jones versus Remedy on Street Status this weekend in St. Louis. Be on the lookout for Chilla Jones versus HA Double, which will be in Austin, Texas, September 8th. And be on the lookout potentially for Chilla Jones versus Head Ice happening on King of the Dot. Cross your fingers for the Decade event.
Hey, yo, man, salute to that. We definitely hope you get that shot, man. And if you win that chain, we'll come bring you through to talk your shit again. You feel me?
Oh, that's a fact. I'll definitely be back.
Hey, yo, man, before we get out of here, you can shout out the Outsider Media real quick for us.
You already know, man. It's your boy Chilla Jones, the kingpin of New England. You rocking with the Outsiders Media, man. Best radio show out there. You already know what it is.
Hey, yo, salute for that, man.
Yeah,
You already.
appreciate that.